Hello, Aries. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. Welcome to my channel, Terror of the Twin Sun. I am Ron. Working today with the Crowley deck from A.G. Mueller, 1986. One of my first decks. Very strong, very powerful. So this is a situationship reading having to deal with three iterations, three portals of potentialities for your love life, for you to jump into and perhaps take what you will, anything that resonates, take and make instrumental to visions of your potential situationships, okay, if there are any. Um, yeah, so welcome, and I'll go ahead and clear the energy of the deck and get started. First iteration is now opening, first portal is opening up. Please relax. Okay, for the month of December 2019, first iteration is open, first portal is open. There's something you're moving away from here with the Hermit card. Moving away from, and there seems to be some sort of gateway that you have found in your solitude, a gateway into a vision of the underworld. Some deep and profound past is haunting you in a certain way, and you're lost in the darkness to find the light, okay, in the month of December. You've had to pull away from a situation where you have a lot of really intense energy for this thing. This situation gives you strength, a lot of lust, as well as converting this lust into the gateway. Once again, approaching and what has emerged from this relationship is a sense of transcendentalism, a way to break through to the other side in a very Jim Morrison kind of way. Both of these cards have the beast within, as you can see here. And as you can see, the hermit, the Cerberus is here, down here. The three-headed dog, as well as that multi-headed beast here. Very intense, considering if there is some sort of work that you have to do that is spiritual in nature, it is forcing you to confront your demons and to tame these in a certain way. But I think you're coming to power, and this is something of a spiritual connection as well as it is a very erotic connection. Okay. Now, yeah. As you move away in hermit mode, there's someone who is spying on you. They're not outright telling you that they're spying on you, but they may have been spying on you for a while. We have the Princess of Swords here in reverse. This person wants to be grounded in a certain way, but can't find grounding. This is a very particular princess, and a bit of her garb, as you can see, a bit of her dress is almost falling off because it's stuck. It's stuck to this structure down here. Yeah, you see it? She's protecting herself, kind of like the Queen of Swords energy, but not exactly empowered. So here, it talks to me of like someone who is not entirely grounded, but is trying to spy on you to find out some sort of commitment of sorts with you here with the Ten of Pentacles. To see how that all works and fits in a certain way. This connection has brought you a great deal of joy, and you are indeed in love with this person, or at least you find your higher self through them, through this connection, okay? Gemini energy here. We also have, with the Hermit, Virgo, as well as, Virgo energy. So there's a lot of Mercury action here going on for you, as well as the Sun, Leo. What I'm seeing, though, is that this connection, you had to move away from it because you were feeling disempowered in a certain way. We have the Emperor here in reverse, as well as a need to tame through the Queen of Rods energy anything within. Perhaps you are dealing with someone who is essentially very wild in nature. Perhaps you can't tame the beast in a certain way when it comes to this connection, and it's very, very fiery. This is a very fiery reading so far. We also have the Prince of Rods here, someone who doesn't know their boundaries, so they move forward in a certain way. This could be you, could be someone else, but essentially what you're getting over is regret in a way. Or perhaps it's still stuck inside of you. There was this regret because someone was balancing two opposing forces, or perhaps was working with multiplicity, a number of various iterations of their love life, and you happen to be a part of the equation. Yes, confirmation here with the Lovers in reverse. There is some sort of connection that has caused a great deal of doubt, as well as some sort of gray area when it comes to this connection. There is a connection here, however, I think it's mostly based on ego, okay? And so your need to go into hermetitude in order to find yourself and to find the poetry of this relationship is very much on the cards here. As well as we have here the Nine of Pentacles, okay? In reverse. This is a type of victory, but it's a victory that is kind of destabilized in a certain way. Usually the Nine of Pentacles talks about the ability to stand in one's own power and to hear the signs and the calls and the beckons of the universe. But because it's in reverse, it's like another egoistic sort of thing here with the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. The Six and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse indicates, to me at least, a need to balance out in a certain way, to be able to give equally. There's a lot of imbalance here in the equation, as well as a lover who is missing here with the Knight of Cups in reverse. A lover or a love story that is missing, okay? When it comes to a new beginning, it's going to be very rough. But if you were to take this leap of faith, it might lead to victory. Victory and a disintegration of ego. Yeah. Very intense. When it comes to the connection with you and this person, there is a great deal of lust as well as a great deal of chemistry with you and this person. This is a very passionate connection. You probably began something with them. I'm detecting two energies here. There could be two energies. One of them is certainly a part of you in terms of a relationship. The other is a missing element. This missing element is taking the Queen of Swords energy. They're cutting off anything that doesn't serve them in the equation. This could be also your energy, and what they are equipped with is a type of sword of truth. However, it's in the reverse, so it's like they're trying to find the truth, but somehow this Queen of Swords has been hurt by this new passionate endeavor. But there is a great deal of love between you two and a lot of healing. With the Ace of Cups. This is brand new love. This is a great new start in terms of cosmic love. Very much intense, as well as a possibility for you to be making a choice when it comes to a third-party situation, or perhaps the hidden influence of this, and the triangle as well as the heartbreak that comes from it. The Three of Swords here indicates a very deep sacrifice. And processing this has been very difficult, but I think within the month of December you'll be over it in somehow, some way. But be careful, the portal will still be open, and this is leading to a type of re-questioning of something that you left behind in the past in order to revisit this. And it's going to awaken a process of death and transformation inside of you that is very deep, very profound, and very subtle. Once you come to this awakening, then you may have to leave certain commitments in order to find in essentially in a materialistic desert of your mind, basically in somewhere that's very spiritual, like with the hermit path, the path of the hermit. You and this person might go through a type of dual hermeticism, and through this learn some sort of new occult truth, but only through that feeling of being left out in cold. Okay. Yeah, but I see here slow movement in terms of an apology, and there's also a possibility to reconcile and to artfully create some sort of alchemy, and to structure or to concoct a way to temper through patience and through alchemy some sort of new cup of love and cup of passion, okay, with you and this person. Take your time because people have to get over their old behaviors in terms of Seven Swords energy. Um, and there's a great evolution happening here on a subtle level. So this is becoming a very spiritual reading, and there are a number of people within your reading um, for Aries number 1, and I think you should try to make sense of all that. Alright, Aries, I'm back, and I've zeroed out, closed that portal. Really wacky portal. Those were wacky cards. I had to get rid of that ground for a minute. I'm going to use the Royal Fez. I switched over to the Royal Fez deck, a very reliable deck from 1975. Very beautiful deck indeed. US Game Systems. I think it was distributed in Italy or something like that. But let's go ahead and clear this. Royal Fez, Moroccan deck. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the reading. Portal number 2 will be opening soon. And the portal is opened. For Aries number 2, December love reading, situationship reading. With Judgment in reverse, what is indicated to me very firstly is the ability to use judgment in order to not resurrect something from the past. Something from the past is coming into the present, and there is an option for you to go ahead and deny this connection. I think it's in your better judgment that you do, because there's something about your energy that is disempowered currently with the Emperor in reverse. Okay, when it comes to this judgment, it's like your judgment is not on point. It's like your ability to make the right choice is not really on point. You may be acting impulsively. If this resurrection does come back into your life, I would recommend you think about it, and you think about it hard and long. There is something that you have left in this situation, and you have been able to go to a distant shore to find peace after very turbulent waters. Some deep emotion here. This has to do with a secret contract that was very difficult for you to read from. It was illegible, and it was upside down. Something about it was very difficult. And you were finding it hard to be critical as well as analytical and just about a certain situation. This had to do with you moving away from a type of new beginning here with someone. And the connection you shared with this person was very deep and profound. It created a lot of nostalgia. This could be a relative or a loved one from the past. At one point, it got too toxic and you had to leave. Yeah, definitely. Perhaps even a lover here with the Knight of Cups in reverse. Some sort of ancient love story that had to do with someone who was manipulating or perhaps stealing something from you, and this led to a type of ill karma, some sort of lack of justice, some lack of equilibrium here in the equation. So you decided to cut them out in a certain way. This happened with the realization of enlightenment that came with one of the moon cycles. Decided not to give your time, energy, and resources to this person with the Four of Pentacles. Commitments were cut in a certain way. It could have been that, I don't know, you could still be in this relationship with this person, but there's an element about the relationship that you're not willing to sort of deal with anymore. I think you've had the last sort of straw, or perhaps you're starting to realize that you have to conserve yourself in a certain way for the sake of appearances. For the sake of appearances through others. Okay. There's also here something about your options, where there may have been too many of them at one point, and now you have a clear and concise look and a sort of like discrimination and ability to discern what it is that really sort of you want to take in terms of the rod cycle. And yeah, you're definitely moving that way. I see fast movement within your heart space within December, and you will know what you want, you will know what you're waiting for, and you're willing to wait for it at the cost of anything, including time, energy, and resources. There's some sort of hidden beginning, a hidden beginning with someone who is very intuitive yet quiet. Okay? But this person reminds you of something of the past. Something about that moon brings you back to the decision that you made back in order to cut something out. And this could stem from childhood, some sort of memory about some sort of beginning that was supposed to happen with a past soulmate, and now they could be coming back into your life. Um, Something like that. Someone who reminds you of they trigger in you some sort of like cycle from childhood. Yeah, so there's a secret that the high priestess holds. It has to do about this sort of this feeling of being left out or cast out in a certain way. But this also talks about deep spiritual enlightenment through dark night of the soul, or perhaps through some sort of spiritual poverty. Definitely, this connection with this person was very deep. Not only does it have the Six of Cups energy, but also has the Ten of Swords energy. They affected you in a certain way. This could be a dead relative or someone from the past, or perhaps the lover you are enamored with now remind you of something about a father figure or a mother figure that has departed in the past. Okay, some sort of heavy stability was here. This also points to a commitment, but I think your commitments lie somewhere in the higher form, and you are coming into power, and like you are knowing what to do according to your own principles and religious philosophies, as well as you will go through the Four of Swords energy, which is a needed retreat, a retreat as well, here in the hangman position to feel esoterically what in all you should invest your time into in terms of transformation, chasing a butterfly over a cliff, taking a leap of faith, and doing it heroically in order to find a new truth, a truth that has been missing to you. And you're very soon going to have to deal with the fact that karma is not working in your favor and the timing isn't right when it comes to manifesting this truth, because essentially a lot of people are going to come into contention with you in December. And the way you design and become the chief architect within some sort of structure that you're creating within communities and with others. There's a lot of contention here, as well as the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here. Divine soulmate union with people who know how to create foundations and to build on foundations that are stable, that are based on deep commitment. However, I would recommend that you don't let any past heartache hurt you, the Three of Cups in reverse, and to move forward and to work very hard at what you're doing, which is essentially coming up with this sort of truth in order to find discernment and to cut out anything you don't need in your life, especially weak offers of love. You're looking for the King and Queen of Pentacles energy. So there's a lot of finances indicated for you, but before I close this portal off, there's something about your empowerment when it comes to these finances and this ultimate stability that you are moving to, and I think it's the right timing when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your own stability, as well as commitments with relationships, like proper relationships that you're looking for. You've committed a great deal to something in the past and you feel regret. And you're realizing that you have to go into some sort of deep healing mode in order to heal the inner child about love lost that was supposed to grow at one point and offer you some sort of slow and steady movement, something, but instead it created a psychological foible in your head, some sort of vice. And this is a pattern you've encountered a lot of your life in, and you're going to find that you're going to be strong if you work within yourself to find your own stability and to find your own happiness. And the ability to move forward is blocked, but this is good because it's teaching you how to live with the burdens that have been put upon you since childhood, and you will be able to embrace the magician's energy to cast out any sort of toxic behaviors from the past. All right, iteration number 2 is closed. All right, Aries, let's try for this last iteration. Very intense read so far, very spiritual in a way. The last 2 portals. That last portal is closed. And we'll go ahead and get started on the 3rd portal. See what type of resonance we can find and go with it. And close it off and get to those Russian fairy oracles for you. Alright. Aries, the portal is opening. The portal is open. Okay. This is very intense because your power is definitely being questioned. There's a lot of ego as well as there's a lot of power through your vision, through your ability to hold the world in your hand, through your ability to come into the throne of dominion. There's something about your empowerment that is empowering but equally disempowering. It's like a paradox. But what I think you should be concerned with is that you are appearing powerful to a lot of people. There's something about the smugness that you inherently have about your options and your ability to be fulfilled in a certain way. And people might see this as arrogance, but I think it doesn't really matter what people think. Um, However, let's explore. There's something about your emotional fulfillment when it comes to soul connection, something that you've been writing and some sort of higher purpose. You're coming across this within the month of December. For some reason, a lot of your iterations, Aries, are very spiritual in nature. It seems like you may have a connection with someone who may offer you a very virtuous symbol of servitude. Okay, this may come in the form of commitment or a type of an apology. If this apology comes through, you will scale any sort of past holdbacks, and as soon as they open up, there will be an option to go back into some sort of cycle with them. If you do, there will also be a possibility that they might have this attitude where they will win at any cost. Be careful of their motives because they might be manipulating you in some way. Yes, this was a connection that you once had a lot of emotional investment into, but you had to leave it for some reason. But there was a great sort of gateway that was looking at you glaringly in the eye, and it caused sort of a rift, and you have the ability to cross through this rift with this person. This talks to me of a Lazarus situation. Something about the past that you were once considering, but then now you are sort of. You're tired of having to deal with looking for that last pentacle, the one that they're trying to offer you. Okay. Um, I think any new beginning will be not based on faith, but on some sort of calculation. This person is very calculating, and they will bring in the inner fire for you, creating a disintegration of boundaries, and they might be a rule breaker of some sort. Be careful, they're a very spicy individual. However, you're standing in your truth with the King of Swords energy. Or perhaps this person is offering not only commitment, but the truth of a commitment, the truth behind that. Because both of you are essentially tired of cycles of the past that have to do with mental processes and getting over this drama. I think you guys are both done with that, as well as this sort of like need to go out into the outside, be outcast in a certain way from situations because of societal demands or whatnot, and the ability to find the truth and to come back into it without fear and with strength towards this like really deep, intense commitment with this person. I think it's very clear that this person may have gone through some sort of spiritual retreat, as well as you have, and what they're bringing to you now is some sort of like apology, and you are willing to give once again to the situation. Because in the past something had to be taken down in a certain way through a tower moment. Something manifested between you two and had to be taken down, or perhaps this is an influence for the future. But I wouldn't think it's that way. I think, if anything, it's after the tower that you find victory, and it's after hermetitude that you find victory. Okay, this person has a great deal of energy for you, as well as you for them. There's a lot of connection and positivity in terms of a soul contract or nostalgia that's being brought back from the past or past life iterations. also the need to get over heartache is here, and it's already happening, as well as an undeniable connection in terms of the lovers here. Very intense, very deep. Teamwork will be reached when starting a new beginning, a beginning that has equally an end that is a beginning. So this is going to be a very fiery, passionate sort of thing, but it might trigger some sort of fear that you guys are actually soulmates in a way, because the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles come up in the upright. From the beginning of your read to the end of it, there's like this dynamic. You guys are very solid together, okay? Yeah, like I said, you're coming into power, and that's good. All right, that is iteration number 3. Once again, this is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I'm going to go ahead and do the Russian Fairy Oracle for you now. Okay, Aries, so to finish off your reading, I would like to pull from the Russian Fairy Oracle from Ivan Bilibin from 1885. It was designed, and this is a modern reprinting of it. I'm going to pull a few cards between you and this person. I think more their vision of this connection, if any. Okay, one more card. Yeah. Okay. Immediately, we have the sun and the moon's influence here. Okay, the sun and the moon. We also have the wolf as well as the river leading up to the sunset. Okay, so the river talks to me of deep emotional sort of deep emotional channel that is feeding the sun's energy and reflecting the sun's energy. So like the connection, the emotional connection between you and this person is very deep. And it cuts through the earth, the dryness of the earth. It feeds the earth as well as it reflects the sun, so the higher consciousness on the surface. However, there's something about this person that is taking on the wolf's energy, and with the wolf card and the moon in the distance, there's some sort of secret or perhaps behavior about this person that is not only nurturing but also very vicious and perhaps calculating. Okay, they also have a lot of loner-like qualities. They tend to be not a part of the pack, or perhaps if they are a part of the pack, they hunt by themselves or something like that. Okay, with the wolf energy here. So there's something about higher consciousness as well as artificial consciousness. With the moon's energy, it's a reflection of higher consciousness. It's a reflection of light. So it's kind of like false light here. It's a reflection. So there's a pure source through emotions, and then there is a false source of enlightenment in this situation through the wolf's energy, some sort of psychological psychological behaviorism that's more primal in nature. Okay, so your higher self is saying yes, your mind is saying no about this, or perhaps you're saying this about you. I think it's more them about you. So they might perceive you as a sort of lone wolf and perhaps a source of illumination through and not only illumination but nurturing energy through the river and through the sun. Okay. Also here there is union with number 24, which is the lovers essentially in this deck. A great union. They see this as a beautiful connection, but there's something about it where it seems like they see you also as a bird of prey, where you're actually like creating through communication some tension. Okay, there's tension here. Not only is there great expansion that they see in this relationship, they also see some sort of predatory riddle within this equation. So it's both positive and negative the way they see you. All right, dear Aries, I do appreciate Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.